Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked it. Hello lovelies, and welcome back to another 9lux nails video. Today I am going in and doing a 3D stiletto freestyle, so stick around and see how we create this set. So I'm first starting with my straight no curve tips, and I'm going to use my straight edge clippers to cut the sides of the nails to direct myself towards my stiletto shaping. So I do like to use a straight edge clipper because it just gives a more precise shaping. Sometimes with the curved nail clippers, you just don't get that precise and straight edge that gives the best look as far as shaping. So I'm just taking my time and making sure that all of her nails will be straight and centered. She does have a little curvature to her fingers naturally, but I'm making sure that looking straight on, her nails will be straight. So this portion takes just a little bit of time, but once I get that point of the stiletto centered, then we will go in and complete the shaping and get started with acrylic application. After getting the shaping to my liking, I'm going to go in with my Mia Secret primer and dehydrator, and I'm also using my Mia Secret Cover Nude blush as well as Mia Secret monomer. So I'm going to go in and just create my flawless application. I love doing a stiletto application. It's just something about it. That point is so deadly, and I just love stilettos so bad. I used to have a very rounded stiletto because I didn't understand how to actually, gravitate the nail downwards and actually get that point precise. But now that I have learned to allow my acrylic to flow down the nail in a natural state and just create that nice slope that it needs, yeah, the stilettos scissor sharp will cut you. So my clients actually prefer a very, very sharp stiletto, and if I have a client that does not like it so sharp, then we do try to dull the tip just a little bit, but for the most part they're gonna cut you. So we're getting the best stiletto I could possibly find in my shaping box, and I just love it. So watch this acrylic application, and I do work the acrylic all the way down to the tip, and then I will take my fingers and just allow myself to pull even more narrowness into the shaping so that it is precise. And once I have the tip of the nail to my thickness and liking, then I'm going to go in and proceed with the cuticle area as well as building an apex because they are pretty long, so I do not want them flat whatsoever. I'm making sure they have a very comfortable and nice thickness without being too bulky or wide. So I'm just spending time at that cuticle area, and then I'm also going to build a nice centered apex. Your apex does not have to be wide to the side walls. As long as it's mostly centered and structured on the nail bed, then it will be a win-win for the client. So I'm going to work each finger and get my desired thickness and comfortableness, and then we will go in and begin doing the design and deets for this set. It was so fun to do, so stay tuned to the end, and if I have anything extra to add, you already know I will pop in and let you girls know what's going on. So again, for my stiletto shaping, I'm going in with a really large bead, semi on the wet side, but not too wet that is spilling off the sides of the nail. I am still able to control, and I'm just going to hold the client's nail down at an angle and allow the acrylic to flow down the nail. So with me not patting it, you still get a lot of the thickness, and I'm not removing any of the acrylic. I'm just working it into the shape so that they are still very thick, because this is a very long nail, and I'm just working her on down to the bottom, allowing even the tip to be very thick, and then I'm just going to use my fingers and to create the point that I'm looking for so that they are very, very sharp. Yes, and once you do that, it's no excess filing that you have to do on the back end. So my stilettos keep their shape, and I like to make sure that they are still thick, so I'm not trying to take off more acrylic than I need. Once I get that body done, then I go in and create the remaining thickness that I need as far as apex and the rest of the body of the nail. So they look so good and so flawless. The acrylic application is top tier, chef's kiss. You can't go wrong, and I just love it. I think I'm going to wear stilettos for my birthday because these are just so good. They're so good. And with working with long nails, you do not want to take any shortcuts. You want to make sure that you are applying as much acrylic as needed, because once it's time to shape and remove acrylic, you can always take away, but you cannot add. Once you begin getting that dust everywhere and all of that, it's going to be more of a hassle to try to clean it and reapply any acrylic than it is to, okay, I got a little excess acrylic here, let me take that off. You cannot add once it's time to do your end filing and shaping. So just take your time during the acrylic application, look at all sides of the nail, and make sure it really looks perfect. Now look how perfect that foundation looks. This allows me to do a gentle shaping and finish filing, and they don't look much different, but I do have them completely shaped up. So now I'm going in with my charms that will give me my 3D effect. So I will be taking my extreme diamond gel because I don't want these charms to come off or move, and they are fairly large charm because we are doing this on a large scale. Nothing small over here, the larger the better for this set. So I am going in with my large charms so that I can make sure that I actually get some depth and detail on these long nails. And yes, they can go off the side or anything because it just adds more fun to the set. So I did try to stick with some neutral colored charms because I am going to be using pink and lighter colors, and I did not want, if I use like a black charm or blue, for that color to show through when I did not want it to. So I did stick to fairly light of charms for this set, and if I was doing a darker set or anything, then I would use darker charms just so that the white or whatever is not showing through with the darker color. So just another helpful little tip if you wanted to recreate this, and it does not have to be on this large scale. There are smaller charms and different ways that you can create that texture underneath the paint kind of look. So I'm just going in. I did set out my charms for how I wanted them to look on each finger, and I'm just going to go ahead and get them glued. I am doing my back and forth method, so I would do one finger and let her cure that for a flash cure, maybe 30 seconds, just to get that glue stuck together, because I don't want the charms to be sliding all around. If I tried to do each finger on each hand, it just probably, I would be fixing more charms than I would be making a difference. So I'm doing one finger at a time, getting a little flash cure done, and going back and forth in that manner. And I did preset out my charms, but if I feel like something is just not going to work for how I think it's going to look on the end, then I will remove it. So that middle charm just wasn't sitting well in my spirit. So I'm like, yeah, we're going to take her off, and on the end I'm just going to do a little 3D texture, so you'll see that towards the end. But that middle charm just wasn't doing it for me, so I'm like, yeah, we're going to take you off, girlfriend. Sorry, you're not going to make it to the party. She gotta go. Just take it off. She gotta go. She gotta go. So I took it off, cleaned up a little bit of that glue off the nail, and then just cured those two hearts. And once I come and do my extra details, I'll add a little texture in the center of that nail. So yeah, sometimes you just gotta, everybody ain't gonna make it to the party. That's okay. So I like how that looked. We're going to put her in and then go back to our back and forth. And then we'll get started painting. Once I get all the charms put on 4 of the nails, y'all know how I like to do 4 nails and a bling nail. I'm a bling girl. I love bling. And I had these really large blings that I wanted to use. So stay tuned. So yep, I'm just getting all my charms on. I'm making sure that none of the fingers are exactly the same. So if I feel like I put a bow on the pointer, I'm not going to put a bow on the other pointer. I'm just trying to make sure I space it out and create fun and motion and depth with my set. Y'all know how I am. Y'all know how I am. So yeah. So now that I have all of the charms where I want them, I'm going to go in and add my little extra details with my 3D squeeze gel. This is a regular rhinestone gel that I get from Amazon. This is not my gel that I use for rhinestones, so when it comes to creating 3D textures, I just love to use out of this squeeze bottle. It's very convenient and saves you a little bit of time. So I'm just want to add some details to the free spaces on these nails, get that cured up, and then we will start painting these nails. We're almost done. So now that all of my details are on and froze, I do have this La Par polish that I was gifted. I met Miss Lisa when I was working with Miss Lauryn Hill at the BET Awards early this summer, and she did give me some of her polish. Thank you so much, guys. Make sure you all go and follow La Par Nails on Instagram because she has a large collection. She is 1 year in with her polish collection, and of course I'm a nail tech. I wanted to try the things, and she was so generous to give me a nice box. So I'm going to go through the things and create another video, but I saw this pink color that I absolutely wanted to use, as well as the peach color that I have down below. So I'm just going to go in and apply this all over the nail, all over the charm as well, and I'm going to do about 2 or 3 coats because I want to make sure it is super thick and everything is super covered. I love the color payout on the polish. It was pretty good. And I do want to try some of her other colors. I do have a box of different goodies, so I can't wait to just get into it and actually test out some of the colors. So we're going in and get this painted all over all of the charms, and you don't have to be perfect with it because it is going to require some layers. And after I polish the nails, I am going in with a little airbrush to create more depth and dimension. So stay tuned for the final reveal of these nails because they were so fun to do. Me and my client, of course, we sit and just ooh and ah over her nails every single time because she's just one of those ones that say, baby, please do whatever you want, and I need it to be spectacular. I need it to be whatever you want to do on your nails. And at the time I am wearing short nails, so oh my god, I lived through her. So yes, I'm going to take my time, get all of these nails painted, keep it clean and nice and neat looking. So I am making sure to clean up everything before I cure, and then we will get the details added and there will be the finished look of this set. Again, I did do an airbrush. A lot of my footage was deleted, but here is the finished set. I used 2 other colors, a purple and that hot pink, and added my large charms, and they turned out so spectacular. I'm gagging. These nails were so perfect. Thank you all for staying tuned to the end, and you already know to follow my socials.